live on Facebook. Thank you everyone for being here at the Monica Campana Health and Wellness show with women entrepreneur and women helping women and people in general in the world of health and wellness and nutrition. And today we have a very special lady. Her name is Samantha Wyland, and she's going to tell us, she's a health coach, and she will tell us her journey, how she became a health coach, and what is she offering now, and how is she helping people. Samantha, thank you for being here, and the floor is yours. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and how did you become a health coach?
Well, first, Monica, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be a part of this. I really think it's an amazing thing that you put together, and I think it's really going to help a lot of people, kind of the ripple effect. So thank you for that. So yeah, I tell people this is actually like my third career. When I was a ballerina for 20 something years, and when my son went to kindergarten, I retired from doing that because I was a director and I was choreographing and directing ballets, so I was gone nights, weekends. So something had to give when he turned 5, so I could spend some time with him. Then I spent 9 years in a high-end sales job that was very, very lucrative. But I wasn't really changing the world. I wasn't I was
Satisfied.
I wasn't really satisfied. Yes, I mean I was satisfied with my paycheck, but it was not, on the inside I kind of felt like a little icky, you know. So as life would have it, things happen for a reason. The company actually had to downsize, so my position was actually eliminated. So I kind of floated around in some different part-time jobs for a while, and I thought to myself, I have my own personal story of my own health journey, and I was very sick for more than 5 years. And, my doctors were kind of going around and around trying to figure out what was going on. They were treating me with different medications that were making me feel, terrible. They were sending me for all of these tests, and they were all coming up with nothing. And I was getting so frustrated. Luckily, I wasn't working very much at the time because I was so sick. I literally was almost on the bathroom floor for like 2 years straight.
Now, when was this? How long ago was this?
I would say it's about 3 years, 3 years ago now. So I was very frustrated. Obviously, I kind of really hit rock bottom at some point when my doctor came in and said, all your tests came back fine.
Perfect.
Everything's fine. There's nothing wrong with you. I'm like, no, there is something really wrong with me. So I started doing my own research. I started looking up things on, like Johns Hopkins University and Mayo Clinic. And I actually found from Johns Hopkins, I found an article that was describing exactly what I was going through. And they listed 100 symptoms, and I had 99 of them.
Wow.
So the only one I didn't have was weight gain, because I was so sick that I wasn't able to eat any food. So obviously I didn't gain any weight. So I sent that article to my doctor, and he called me, and he was like, this is exactly what's wrong
you have.
with you.
Thank you very much.
I know. He's like, oh,
and was it like a specific disease or?
It was based on hormones. I was perimenopausal, so none of my symptoms were caused by food. They weren't caused by, I didn't have Crohn's, I didn't have colitis, I didn't have, acid reflux, I didn't have any of those specific conditions. So they put it kind of into this bubble called IBS. And, they just,
the IBS.
Yeah, they just keep giving you all these different pills to try to see which ones are gonna work for you. And they're like, okay, here's some medicine, good luck, and I wasn't getting better, obviously. So he said, you are obviously that your hormone changes are what's causing these symptoms, because I did notice that they were happening in a cycle. And as things progressed, that cycle just never really ended. It was just kind of one long continuous cycle. So once we started treating that, I would say maybe 2, 3 months later, I went back to my doctor, and he was shocked at how healthy I looked. I was smiling, I was laughing, I had makeup on. 2 months before that, I couldn't even get out of bed and brush my hair.
Wow.
So I said, he was like, wow, you have made so much progress in such a short time. And I said, yeah, well, because we finally figured out the root cause of my condition. We weren't dancing
Exactly.
around with all these other ideas. And I said, did you kind of know that what was going on was related to other things, that you knew it was sort of emotional and, hormonal and psychological? He was like, yeah, that's why we call it IBS. And I'm like, but think about how much time and money that I could have saved if you had just told me that in the beginning.
I
And he
know.
was kind of like, well, patients don't really take very well to that. That they don't like being told that their stomach issues are because of their emotions or their anxiety. I'm like, well, I would have taken whatever you got. you
Wow.
know. So yeah,
And
we
what
would have
did you
been.
change? What had you changed? What did you start changing?
Well, I mean, I do take some medication to regulate my hormones. I am a big believer in the balance of science and nature. Medication is a wonderful thing for certain things, when it's absolutely necessary. And then, of course, I started to, change my diet and change my lifestyle, because now I could eat food, which I really couldn't do before. And I tried to stay pretty much eating the same things every day, so that when something would happen to me, and I would call the doctor, and he would say, well, what did you eat today? I'm like, the same thing that I ate yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that. So there was no way it was related to food.
Mm.
So now I could eat anything I wanted. And I was never a big junk food person. So I wasn't like, yay, I'm cured. I'm going to go out and binge on beer and pizza. I was like, wow, I can digest salad now. And, I can, start to, and it took me a little while, because I was so used to like not liking food. The thought of food made me, oh no, I'm going to be sick. But now, I really enjoy food. I'm really able to explore. So after that whole incident, I decided that what I wanted to really be when I grew up was a health coach, and help people like myself, use what I learned from doing my research and educating my doctors and changing my lifestyle, kind of bridging the gap between, the medical world and, the natural world, and kind of somebody to
Combine the
just put
two,
the,
combine your
yeah,
experience and wow.
someone to put the pieces of the puzzle together, because that's what I really needed. I was kind of going around and around and around, and what I really needed was someone to just say, like, okay, I see these problems, and let's explore where they're coming from. So I enrolled at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition last year. I do have my mid certificate badge. I am seeing clients, and my official graduation date and virtual celebration is January 6th, I
Oh
believe.
wow.
Yeah,
Coming up.
so that's going to be fun. Yeah, it is coming up. Yeah, so
Wow.
I got to get studying.
Less than a
Although I have
month.
been doing very well. So, uh,
Less than a month. And so, what type
yeah.
of clients do you work best? Or, who are your ideal clients?
Yeah, because of what I went through, my ideal client is, someone that went through a lot of what I went through, that has excuse me, digestive issues, that may or may not have a diagnosis of IBS. They're busy, they're working, maybe they have children, and they just can't get to the root cause of their issue. So, I work with them and their doctor, and, we go through a whole thing with diet and lifestyle. We evaluate their stress, we evaluate things on and off the plate, which I think is so important. And that's why I love the Institute for Integrative Nutrition so much, because it's not just about like, here, eat this. I tell my clients, I'm not going to give you a cookbook and tell you eat this. We're gonna play around with some different things, and
See how
we're
you
gonna
react.
right, and what fits into your lifestyle. I'm never going to tell someone you have to eat kale if they hate kale. you know,
Yeah.
like that's not, if they like iceberg lettuce, all right, eat iceberg lettuce. If you want to have a chocolate chip cookie once in a while, all right, but maybe at least increase your water every day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
Exactly.
like, kind of a balance.
Yes. Now the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, did you take the year course, 1 year?
It's a 1-year course.
Okay.
And virtual, obviously.
Wow. And now where can potential customers find you? I think I put pretty much everything in the post, but there's a website, right? And you have a Facebook group.
Yes, I do have a website. It's yourbestlifebysamantha.com. And I do have a blog. I have, there's a blog. There's blogs on there. I have articles, obviously, ways to contact me, different events that I'm posting. I also do have I just kind of, this is kind of new, but I do also have a podcast, which
Oh
is
wow.
this also Your Best Life by Samantha.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, so
That's
far I know
nice.
it's on Spotify. It's in a couple of places, but
I
you
have to
can,
check it out.
yeah.
And now, do you have like some special courses that you do, like you do one-on-one, or you have group classes online, I guess, right now? Do
Well,
you have?
yes, I do virtual coaching one-on-one. Right now, because of the holidays, I am actually doing a free workshop. It is beat bloating, gas, and I should remember the name of this.
We're gonna put it. We're gonna put it. We're gonna add it
Yeah.
on the interview
Um,
so people can
so
check it
so
out.
it's a 5-day workshop starting tomorrow,
Oh
actually.
my gosh,
And
tomorrow.
yep. Oh,
Wow.
beat gas, bloating, and pain during the holidays in just 5 days.
Oh,
So it starts out tomorrow, and you can register for that on yourbestlifebysamantha.com/holiday.
okay.
So you will
We're
get,
gonna make sure
yeah,
that you're gonna have this
yeah.
on the post so that people
So
can.
we're prepping for that now. Actually, I just sent out a little preparation email, and so anyone that joins late will get everything that I've sent so far. You'll also get invited into our private Facebook group where I will go live every day at 7 o'clock to talk about the different topic of the day. And I also have some amazing guests joining me, and I have a bunch of giveaways. So that's
Oh
definitely
wow.
something that you're going to want to check out.
Wow, it starts tomorrow. And is it at a specific time? Are you gonna go live? Is that how it works?
It's email. There'll be an email every morning with an action step to go into the Facebook group. And then I will be going live every night at 7 p.m.
Oh wow, Eastern time.
Yes, Eastern
Yeah.
Standard Time.
Wow, for 5 days.
For 5 days, yes.
Straight, right? Saturday, Sunday.
Yep, 5 days in a row. Yep.
Oh wow.
Well,
So you
that's how
work.
you gotta have the consistency.
Of course, of course. I'm all about consistency.
And
And well, that's
especially with
nice.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Especially with digestive issues, you definitely want to have that information going on during the weekend when most people like to kind of fall off the wagon.
I know, because they're good during the week, and then during the weekend they forget everything they
Uh-huh.
learned during the week.
Exactly. But even if they do fall off the wagon, I do have some all natural remedies for them to kind of settle things down.
Oh wow. Well, that's wonderful, Samantha. And so every day you heard her, you have to try this. It's free, right?
Absolutely free.
Wow. Yes, I have to try it. And
My gift to you. And we are having a contest. Whoever adds the most friends and family to the Facebook group will get a prize. Since it is the holidays, I want to give the gift of health and wellness, and so hopefully all of you do as well. So hopefully you'll give the gift of health and wellness to your friends and family.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yes, I'm gonna start also helping you and share it with everyone. And well, that's amazing. You are helping people. You first started by helping yourself, and then you realized how and like you, there are so many people out there that they don't get the help that they are supposed to from
Mm-hmm.
their health care providers,
Yeah.
and some people they keep going and they struggle and they have pain most of their lives,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know what they have.
Yep.
And
The day that I quit therapy, because when I was so very sick, I was seeing a therapist to try to, kind of help me just to deal with it all. And she actually said to me, Samantha, most people go to the doctor, get a prescription, go to the pharmacy, take the medication, and go home. And I was like, and those people are stupid, number one. And number two, I don't need to come to therapy anymore. Bye.
Of
And that
course.
was it. You know, I'm like,
No, because that doesn't solve the problem.
no, not at all. Not, I mean, for some people, yeah, maybe it does, but you
Puts a
know,
patch on something, and
yeah, it's a
you know,
band-aid. It's a band-aid, you
no,
know.
it doesn't solve the problem. And you
And you know, at
went.
least if your doctor is going to tell you to take something, at least look it up. You know, look up why. You know, look up some of the side effects. You know, see if they apply to you. If you take the medication and you don't feel better, call your doctor again and say, you know, this isn't working, or I had a reaction to this. You know, don't just be like, that didn't work. Throw it in the garbage. You know.
Exactly, exactly. Because just by putting a patch or a band-aid, it doesn't, it's gonna just improve it for 1 day, 2 days, but you don't solve the problem.
Exactly. And it also can
Oops.
mask, you know, other other conditions. You know, maybe somebody went to the doctor because they had heartburn, and the doctor says, okay, go and, you know, buy this over-the-counter medication, and they take that medication, so now they don't have heartburn anymore, but they don't go back to the doctor and get like a physical, you know. So who knows, you know, down the line they could end up with, you know, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, you know, lots of different things just might get missed because they feel like, oh, I don't have heartburn anymore, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, it's not right. It's not right. It's just the whole system is, needs to change, and but that's why people like you are, stepping up and understanding and helping, the world. So it's really inspiring. And you started as a ballerina. How many years did you do? Was
Uh,
that
I,
like at high
when
level? Very high
pretty much
level.
my whole life. No, it was mostly like semi-professional, local. You know, I was sort of a big fish in a small pond. But
Semi-professional means like training like 5 hours a day, probably. What?
Well, I mean, I never performed professionally, so I didn't have that like intense training. But I do have a BA in dance. That's where my schooling is originally, and then I did start teaching, and then I started performing with this little local company that I was teaching at the school for. So I was sort of like a professional in this children's ballet company, and then I went on to take over that school and the ballet company and direct and choreograph and do all that.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. I don't. By the time I stopped teaching, I felt like, I was good. My life had pretty much been the same from the time I was like 16 and the time I was till the time I was like 30 something. You know, because for dance started at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It ended at 9. I'm like, okay, I think I'm done, and I loved it. I felt very satisfied with my career, but I'm like, there has to be. I know there's a whole world out there that I'm
Out there,
missing.
something else. Now, were you sick during those times? Were you sick since you were
Uh,
young?
I had definitely had digestive issues on and off through my life. They did start when I was like 16. So yeah, I had my first endoscopy actually when I was 16. And back then they didn't even put you to sleep. They just like said, bite on this thing, and they just did the
No
endoscopy right there.
way. And you were awake?
I was wide awake sitting up watching it on camera.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but then the second time I had to go for one, I was like in my 20s, and they were like, okay, yeah, you have to go to the hospital, and like, we'll put you under, you have to take a day off work. I'm like, wait, what? I thought you just put the thing down. And I'm like, oh, I had to take a day off work for this.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I mean, they never, like, it was over and over again. I never found anything.
Huh.
But I mean, it definitely came and went. A lot of it was stress related, anxiety related. Um, and then when my son was born, things actually kind of like calmed down. I think my body sort of knew, like, okay, you're a mom now, you need to, just be okay. And then when my hormones made that shift, I guess I was about 36, 37 when I
Wow.
started perimenopause. So yeah, the
Wow.
struggle is real.
Well, Samantha, it's wonderful, wonderful, that you can share your knowledge with people and help people. So I hope that they listen to you right now so they can sign up tomorrow and for any other courses that you're going to have. But right away, try her course tomorrow on Facebook. We're going to have all the links so that people can find you and connect with you. Thank you again for being here and for making the world a better place. Okay.
Thank you. And you're
Thank you
doing the
so much,
same.
Samantha. And I want to know about you and your future courses and classes. So let's keep in touch, okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Samantha. Mwah. Bye, everyone, and until next time.
Peace.
Yes.